Hello everybody, it's JcDent again, and Warfare is the name of the game. Today we're going to be playing the second mission in the campaign called Operation Camp. We're gonna have to demine the road, clear the village, and maybe not killed along the way. Which is not as easy as it sounds. It's pretty typical mission because we're not going to be seeing that much of enemy vehicle activity. It's going to be pretty much infantry for this mission. I've pre-selected all troops. I've pre-selected troops so you wouldn't have to watch me do it. As you can see, we can't take our trophy BMP3 nor T55, but the BTR is going with us on this mission. Now, after doing the video for this mission, I saw that there was an hour of footage, and I decided that nobody would want to watch that. So I decided to cut it down for length and make it shorter, only taking out the most exciting parts. Now, your mileage may vary, but I think these parts are kind of representative of both the game and both the future interesting, or at least not boring, action.
Scorpion 12, report the situation.
All people sighting force northeast. The road is mined.
I'm under command of 7230. Your mission is to provide engineer recon and mine clearing in the sector for the patrol. 7230, keep checking. Explore the village first.
So yeah, immediately our 3B engineers, and as you might see, we have some 3 trucks back there, run into mines, and one of the first things you'll do in this mission is deploy smoke, because we immediately come under fire. And here's our tow missile showing off how actually slow it is, and we just wasted a cheap technical with it. Some guy once said that Javelin costs 80,000 a pop, and the fact that a guy who doesn't make that in a year is firing it at a guy who doesn't make that in a lifetime makes one believe that this war could almost be won. I think he was referring to either Iraq or Afghanistan. So here's the second wave of attack. The game doesn't really have any sort of tactical or strategic AI. I mean, it doesn't bum rush you with all the units in the map, which is a thing you would probably do if you knew how limited the enemy forces were. But the map is full of triggers that order AI to attack you at certain times. Here, after the battle, I rearmed the tow missile in the trucks. And now we are experiencing the enemy attacking from the left side of the road. I changed the camera, and notice that not once in the mission are we going to try and go left, because the whole area is mined and the terrain is horrible. So it's best to attack on the right side and just try to take people out. Now these ruins are really bothersome because they provide excellent cover for peeps. And it's really hard to take 1 or 2 guys who are left under some irregularly shaped rocks. That's why I'm ordering my Marines advance. Here's an anti-tank squad showing that RPGs aren't doing much against infantry. And I think quickly you'll see them missing my troops altogether, but hitting something else. As you see, here's an RPG round missing its target and traveling half a map to actually hit one of my trucks. As you may see, the left side is black, which means it hit the troop compartment. So if my tow guys or somewhere had been in there, they might have been killed outright, especially since tow is such a small squad. Now we've cleared the ruins. And I think this is the part where we're going to come under attack by an enemy jeep. What you're going to see now is a lot of small arms fire being exchanged, as I want to force a guy out of the vehicle so that I might steal it later on. As you see, BTR-70 isn't the most hardcore of vehicles, as it's already pretty broken up. Then again, these are armored personnel carriers, which are only supposed to bring the troops to battle almost undamaged and not exactly be any kind of forward battle element. At least I think. Here we have snipers kill the driver, so we could take the car and without destroying it, because the Marines would have probably done that. And we're taking guys from one of the trucks and trying to sneak them to the car and to repair it and to drive away. As you can see, we need smoke to be safe from the village over there, but you can't actually order the guys to throw smoke outside outside of the smoke radius. In other games, the troops would just move into range, but here you have to move them into range at first manually. And now soon we're going to see a demonstration of the game's camouflage rules and how, in conjunction with terrain, it kind of interferes with your battle planning. I'm actually not that happy that the Rangers, you see them by the green tag over there, to cover behind the BTR, because it would probably get it shot up. Here you see one guy that has been left and now is throwing grenades at our Marines. Luckily, Marines on the ground have pretty good cover, so it isn't that scary. Suddenly we trigger BTR-70 to appear, and they're having a little shootout, which is probably going to end like usually, with the car going in flames, and well, maybe we're probably going to destroy it afterwards. It's a lot better with the Tacoma, the technical over there. Still not really safe. We're gonna drop some smoke so the car wouldn't be immediately destroyed once the guys enter it. And I couldn't retrieve it later on because vacant cars get damaged by the fire by the fire that's going in the field. You see a tank shoot. Now I'm going to order them to repair the vehicle so we could move out. Although that would not be easy, because movement is probably the last part of a vehicle that gets repaired. And now we see a BTR-80, which I really hoped wouldn't appear here. And this is one of the other cars that we want to steal. And now I'm going to have Marines and the BTR to open fire at it. It's a bit tougher than the BTR-70, but not by a long shot. And as you might see, there was a warning over the map that one of the guys in the BTR-70 got killed. Now it can't fire and run at the same time because it doesn't have a driver and a gunner. As you see, all the fire used trying to kill the BTR crew actually destroyed the vehicle. So, if I want to loot one, I'll have to get one later on. As you see, the Jeep is pretty damaged, and now we're getting a helicopter missile attack on the village. It basically never destroys that Tacoma, but I'm hinging my bets on the helicopters to destroy the tank, which is why the thing that they said before about being aware of the tank and acting carefully is really doesn't matter, because the helicopters fire ATGM at it and almost always hit it. One other thing is that the left side of the road, at least as we're now seeing it, is actually mined, and sometimes troops exiting the helicopters uncover the mines, but I've never ever had a helicopter land on a mine and explode, and I wonder if it's possible. Now here's a civilian car. We would be able to steal it, but it's in such a location that it doesn't have any possibility of surviving.
Taking fire!
We actually have to be careful because, as previously in the map, the right side of the map is where you'll receive most of the enemy charge attacks from now on. Here you see us wasting 2 ATGM missiles on one of those jeeps. And our guy is slowly advancing on the village. We're gonna pop some smoke to avoid some of that annoying MG fire. And that's how we killed most of the enemy's armored might. Here you see an exchange of RPGs, and I'm going to order those Marines to charge that building before one very, very bad thing is going to happen, but in this map it's unavoidable. As you might see on the left, the reinforcements have arrived sign appears, and
Don't you have some problems here? Can't live for a second without our help, huh?
Eagle, dig in and shut up. It's an ambush.
All units hold. To my right.
and it's one of those several locations in the game where you're given reinforcements in the worst possible position, which is evident by them exploding the HMG there. I mean the Humvee there. Probably not the exact worst reinforcement event in the game, but it's pretty much up there. Especially how this time I kind of charged in and didn't really want to deal with their shit, and I kind of bungled up orders. Here I am ordering the Marines to assault that building, and here I am accidentally selecting both squads and ordering them to charge the other building, while grenades and the machine gun fire is flying all around them. So there's nothing else left, and I'm ordering most of the guys to move up and clear other buildings. One of my Marines decided to charge around the village and got killed. You might have seen his MG fall on the ground. Now we're doing what we can to minimize danger to our new Humvee and the supply truck. Yeah, here's me discovering the MG of the downed Marine. And here are our Marine and the new Ranger and Marine squads down to half strength. Our supply truck is getting pretty shot up. Thankfully it has the HMG Humvee for support.
You made it in time. Take round defense.
Now we took the village, and now we're going to have 3 minutes to prepare to defend it. I'm actually going to skip it up until the attack.
They may not want to strike again. Your main objective is to secure the oil refinery. We're successfully hiding the oil processing plant between Kuwait and Greece. It's clear they spend a lot of money for defense as well. To crush this state is without regrets.
That is probably the smallest oil refinery you could ever find. Okay, I've placed some mines. I've almost strategically placed some dudes. I'm having the lower armored vehicles stay outside. I'm gonna send my engineers to hold that flank. And as you might see when I selected the BTR-70, it already has no frontal armor, so the driver is pretty much exposed to the enemy fire. Still, this is going to be one of those dumb human wave assaults. As you might see that the dark dots on the ground somewhere, those are anti-personnel mines. And those are a bitch to notice, especially if you're not watching your troops going somewhere really close. So yeah, this is our most veteran squad of our Marines, minus that one idiot that lost the machine gun, which I had to pick up later on. These are the leftovers from the oh so smart reinforcements.
Combat engineers here. Hit the dot gun.
Well, these guys are pretty safe here, especially with our still intact Ranger squad providing grenade launcher and sniper fire from the building. Here are two BTR-80s on attack, and one of them is going to be ours after this. And here is the human wave assault. I'm running out of ATGM ammo, I guess. Luckily that one missed, because we would have not gotten the BTR-80 after this mission. And this was unexpected, because I never remembered the enemy I never actually experienced the enemy to have ATGM missiles in this mission, so I just lost my BTR-70, which isn't that bad, because that's not good of a vehicle, and I'm not going to take it on any more missions. I'm kind of sadder about losing troops, because of losing troops, but those were guys from one of the, I think from one of the trucks or from one of the jeeps, so they weren't one of our veteran guys. That one guy from the veteran BTR crew that had his driver killed is now hiding somewhere in the back where it's safe and nobody is attacking him. We're cutting down these guys pretty easily, what with them charging into the fire. I was kind of reluctant to use this tower, because it might get hit by a few RPGs and get destroyed easily, and I'm kind of reluctant to get the snipers into the building, because rangers in the building already have sniper rifles, and they're not taking care of these guys. These Talibs, although I'd probably should be calling them Taliban. So the sniper plan worked out, and I've sent the guys and smoke grenades to take the BTR-80. We just killed the last of the enemy armor potential here. But as you might have noticed, there appear to be mines just in front of a car. Any kind of infantry can spot mines, but as you're going to see shortly, not all infantry can take the mines. Here I'm doing an interesting thing, because I never tried controlling crew while it's repairing a vehicle, so that guy might not have gotten into the vehicle ever. Still, I have to scrounge up some engineers who survived the assault pretty well, much like my snipers who helped to clear those last infantry and Taliban guys. So I'm going to clear those mines before maybe consolidating more to attack the oil refinery. Here I am making a small push on the refinery. Most of my forces are still going by the lakeside, because it's the position from which most enemies attacks. Here's one crazy guy going Rambo and standing in the middle of the road firing his, I guess, AK-47. Would have been funnier if it was one of the MG squads with an RPK. Here are guys bundling up while mysteriously not being hit by grenade launcher fire, but, well, you can probably say that Taliban is not the smartest of the enemy, or at least in this game they weren't that well programmed. I mean, everything you can see here is it's not the enemy reacting to my fire, but just reacting to triggers. You might not see it from this high, but we just walked into a minefield. Luckily, triggering one or two mines rarely kills your dudes, so I'm ordering everybody to stop, and I'm going to try to kill that one guy on the left with snipers, before calling in engineers to clear the minefield. See the mine clear, the little mine with an arrow appears, and yeah, we're going to clear the mine. So we start pushing forward on the refinery. The engineers are having a field day clearing the mines. I mean, I think pretty much no other map has as much mines as in this one. Everyone is basically joining the attack, even the leftover squads. And there are more and more people appearing the closer you get. there are guys taking cover on the refinery building, even though it doesn't look really defensible. Here you can see the crazy amount of mines in this map, and I'm blowing smoke to get some cover from the guys shooting at us from the refinery, or maybe not. I'm trying to get our sniper in the game, because despite all other units, these are the only snipers that we have. As you can see, I've abandoned one of the Humvees so I could get drivers for the BTR-80. All of our vehicles are staying in the back, so they wouldn't get damaged in the last firefight or killed by some Taliban guy hiding behind a piece of scenery that renders him invisible to my other dudes. Fortunately or not, those fuel trucks don't really explode that volatilely when damaged, so it's good, but it's kind of boring. As you might have noticed, those guys in the guard booth only just got noticed by our guys, and now they're pouring rockets and grenades into the building. And well, this was probably the fastest I've seen the guys take them out, because some other times you can see rockets just flying past the building and not hitting anyone, and it's really annoying, especially if you have 3 guys just bunching around the window and not getting hit and basically making fun of your troops. So yeah, what the thing that we have to do in this mission is basically just clean the guys in the area. As you might have seen before, our snipers scored at least 1 vehicle kill in this mission. It was probably taking out a Tacoma driver or something. I'm pretty sad that I didn't manage to steal any of the technicals in this mission, but it's not like it's the last one that we're going to be appearing in the game. I'm pretty happy about stealing one of those freakier Soviet Jeeps, because they aren't that common in the game. So yeah, as you see, there was one guy hiding behind the oil wells. Now he got taken care of by snipers, and he was also carrying a Javelin ATGM. So it was one of it was good that I didn't take any of my precious vehicles inside. As you see, most of the time vehicles are at disadvantage in this game, especially since enemies carry a great load of RPG-7 missiles and RPG-7 grenades, while others go around with javelins. And while it's not as obvious in this mission, later on it will be basically every other guy will be lugging around an ATGM, so our vehicles will be like almost on a permanent hiatus or a break, waiting for us to clear any sort of infantry that we see, and maybe only useful when we need some more stronger anti-tank power. Now see, our guys are assaulting the refinery building, and as in the village before, the enemy is basically rapid firing RPGs at it. Luckily, we have those indestructible oil wells in front of us, so we're not getting that damaged. I don't really know if the game counts actual soldiers lost in the squad to your troops lost rating, but yeah, I just don't like losing troops. Here you see we have repaired and claimed a fuel tanker. Unfortunately, it's getting stuck on scenery or something, and it has some hard time getting out. You might be able to see that the fuel trucks will come with 2 Arabian swords crossed on the HUD, so this is basically trucks provided for us by the GLA. So yeah, These are basically all the cars we can steal in this map. We'll be going to leave one of the Humvees behind, but it's not a big thing. I'm ordering my snipers into that truck, so we might take the truck, but they didn't make it. You see the small mission accomplished sign, and here's our end goal. We lost 7 units, which can mean basically anything because I haven't lost that many vehicles, but I've lost more infantry than that. And you see the whole hour-length mission duration, and just be happy I didn't do it. So I hope you liked it, and wait for my mission 3, I guess.